Hi everyone, it's Karen here. Welcome to another day in our 24 days of tags for 2023. And here today I've got a beautifully elegant tag. I hope you like it. I've decorated it with a bit of beads and gold twine and my favourite American seam binding ribbon. And the feature here is this beautiful festive candle stamp from Sweet Poppy Stencils. And I've just decorated the edge with some distress oxides. So I've got speckled egg, spiced marmalade, that's what's going to go in the centre and in the candle, peacock feathers, that's what's gone around the edge and in my flower there, fossilised amber, again to give that flame a bit more colour, and the centre of the flower, and then mowed lawn for our leaves. So this is super simple. I just love this stamp. Look at it. It is so elegant. The detail on the top of that candle is incredible. So I hope you'll stay tuned. Now, how are we going to get these lines? Something so simple. I'm sure at this time of the year we've all got bits of cardboard that are coming with our packages. So what I've done is I have taken a piece of cardboard and I've just started to rip off the top layer, and that's what's left underneath. Just like that. So if you pick it off carefully, you'll end up removing all these frilly, frayed bits, and you'll end up with something that's going to give us these lovely lines. Not definite, not harsh, so you can either write on there or just leave it like that. I love it. I hope you do too. So I've got a piece that I've done before and is well loved, as you can see, so we're just going to use that for today. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to stamp our festive candle. The other thing that you will need here is a bit of a mask. I'll talk to you about that when we get there. So I'm just going to ink up my festive candle stamp, and I'm using VersaFine Clair Nocturne for that. And as you can see, I just sort of put it half on the tag. So you certainly want the flame in the tag. Lovely. Then what you're going to do is take a bit of a masking sheet. You're going to stamp it and create a mask. I'm going to pop my... Oh, I've lost my candle. I did cut it out. Look at that. I did cut that single strand. Go me. And then it's come off. But never mind. So you can use these masks multiple times, obviously. If you haven't got any masking sheets, do you know what works really well? Is a post-it note. There we go. So you're just going to mask off. And if you haven't got either of those, then just cut a piece of paper. Just tear a piece of paper around the edge. Because when we do our lines, it doesn't matter. So for this, I'm going to use Archival Jet Black. You can use a VersaFine Clair Nocturne, but this way you just ensure that it's not going to smudge. And then you're just going to ink up your bit of cardboard. Now I always like to just test it, just to make sure that I've done it perfect. Look at that. Because you don't want all those lines too definite. Otherwise it's going to detract from this gorgeous candle. So by stamping it off first, it gives me an idea of how much ink I need to put on. brackets a bit more this time because I wanted to go all the way down. There we go. And then I'm just going to stamp. Actually, you want it straight. You do want to make sure that it's straight. So I'm just going to line it up with the lines on my mat. Doesn't have to be too perfect because you want it with all that texture. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's clean off this mat. Then I'm going to just peel off this mask, and then I'm going to give it a blast with a heat gun to ensure that as I colour it, it's not going to smudge. So there we have our beautiful background. And now we're going to colour in the candle using some stencil brushes. I've got these ones. I've also got a couple of others. And I'm going to use the Distress Oxides that I showed you. Let's start with the candle. Fossilized amber. And I'm just going to give it, now you can obviously, we've done colouring in different ways throughout this series. So you can colour it with your paintbrushes, with your beautiful watercolour pens, pencils, anything you like. So with this stencil brush, I'm just dabbing it around the edge because, you know, when a flame glows, that glow extends beyond the actual flame. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit of spiced marmalade and colour the centre a bit further. There you go. That's it. I'm just going to go back in with my fossilized amber and give a centre to my flowers. There you go. So how quick was that? Now, for our candle, I'm going to leave it white, but I'm just going to give a tiny bit of colour around the top. So I'm using speckled egg. Speckled egg's really light blue. And I just wanted that to follow the rest of the colour of the tag. I just want ever such a tiny bit. There we go. I quite like that. Now we're going to pick up Mowed Lawn. And again, just like we did with the flame, this dab, dab, dab around the leaves. So then I just used peacock feathers for the flower, and I'm really happy with that. Now I'm going to go in with my peacock feathers and my smoothie, and I'm going to blend around the edge. I've got my copy paper to protect the rest of it. And I'm just going to whiz around the edge like we have before. That frames the whole piece. Look at that. Super happy with that. And then finally, two things. I'm going to put this reinforcer in at the top, and for those of you who haven't seen me do it, I just colour with my Distress Oxides a bit of card, and then I cut my little punches out with my Carl punches. So a smaller hole and then a slightly larger one for the reinforcers. Now these have been with me, these precious little beings have been with me a very long time. I would hate to say how many years, but a lot of years. So you may not be able to find these exact same ones, but I know there are a number of other companies on the market that do small punches like this. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue on there. It's coming together nicely. And finally, I'm just going to put a bit of red on my berries. I'm using Liquid Pearls Carnation Red, and I'll always test it to see how much pressure I need to apply to get and then depending on how hard you press, you'll get more or less out of your bottle to create bigger or smaller berries. Voila! So there we have it. And then when those are dry, I just tied some ribbon and some of these little beads over the top. So there we have it. I'd love to see your makes, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.